Sleet and snow. The cleanup underway to keep you safe.
Rain in some cities, snow in others. What made all the difference in this winter weather alert?
And Mother Nature takes her toll on Ohio basketball tournament action tonight, where teams did and did not take the court. Live team coverage begins right now.
Well, rain turned to snow, roads froze, dozens of local events were canceled. You're looking at the conditions outside live from our I-75 North Toledo Action Cam. More than 12 schools have already closed for tomorrow as we come on the air tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Diane Larson.
And I'm Lee Conklin. Many Michigan districts deciding to lock the doors, and more could follow tomorrow morning.
Now, we're monitoring the conditions on the road and out in the elements.
Our team of experienced meteorologists tracking the storm. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Jay Burschbach live in the First Warning Forecast Center. Jay.
And Lee, we are still tracking precipitation. It just won't give up tonight. Here's a look at live Doppler 13,000 HD. And like we had during the evening, the farther north and west you live or you're traveling, the more the chance of rain or chance of snow, that is, rises. So southeast, let's start on the warm side of things. Basically, your turnpike toward the Maumee Bay. It is all liquid from Defiance to BG to Port Clinton. In fact, a pocket of very heavy rain in southern Wood County, lifting toward BG, Waterville, White House, and western Lucas County. So watch for that. You might hear that on the windows. Now let me put temperatures on here because we're all just above freezing, but with temperatures so close to freezing up in southeast Michigan, the snow did stick this evening. In fact, in Hillsdale, 4 to 5 inches of snow on top of 1/10 of an inch of ice. So that's the extreme. Adrian, an inch or two of snow, and then it drops as you go toward Toledo. But here at the station, our parking lot is a complete mess of slush and sleet and ice, and that should be with us for the overnight. Here's the update on the winter weather advisory. The counties of Lucas, Wood, Ottawa, Sandusky dropped. That doesn't mean it's not going to snow tonight, but just the Weather Service here is backing off on their accumulations. The areas in pink or purple through noon tomorrow have the best bet for more than 1 inch of snow tonight. What we're tracking for you in just a matter of minutes, snow versus rain. The battle continues for tonight on Predictor. We'll talk about those snow accumulations and how it may be impacting that Wednesday morning drive. More in your forecast in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.
All right, Jay, thanks very much. Counties to the west also hit pretty hard by this winter storm, caused a number of accidents across the area. And meteorologist Jeff Cornish continues live team coverage tonight from Metamora. Jeff.
Thank you, Lee. We are in a slushy Metamora tonight. We've had off and on periods of snow and freezing rain earlier today. You can see the slush here that has accumulated. It's very slippery, just enough for the snow plows to be out. We had a plow pass us about a half hour ago here in downtown Metamora. Things are obviously quiet at this point. Earlier today, though, earlier this evening, we came across one accident at the intersection of K and Road 12. That's about 11 miles west of the Lucas-Fulton County line, and you can see that one car spun out, and the rear end of that car smashed into a power pole, snapping it. So the power crews were out restoring power and repairing that mess. And there have been at least a half of a dozen to a dozen slide-offs and accidents. I did not get a firm number, but the folks at the sheriff's office here in Fulton County did say that their crews were pretty busy this evening with multiple slide-offs and accidents. One, at least, involved a minor injury. And temperatures are in the mid-30s right now, but we're going to be watching to see how that snow redevelops later tonight and into the day tomorrow, especially to the north and west of Toledo. You'll hear more about that from Chief Meteorologist Jay Burschbach. Reporting live in Metamora, meteorologist Jeff Cornish, 13 ABC Action News.
And nationally, authorities say 3 people have died so far in this winter storm. According to police, 2 people died in rollover crashes in Kansas. One other was killed when a roof collapsed under heavy snow. The storm knocked out power to more than 100,000 homes and businesses. Even plows are struggling in this winter weather. Kansas City saw 8 state plows fall into highway ditches.
And if you're going to be driving in North Toledo tonight, you may have to take a detour. Alexis Road is still shut down between Detroit and Benore. ODOT telling us crews closed the road because of safety concerns. Spokesperson tells us the rain caused some drainage and pavement problems there. Crews are scheduled to make those repairs tomorrow, weather permitting.
And the rain turned to snow in southeast Michigan. More than a dozen schools already closed there tomorrow. Amy Montgomery is live with the very latest. And Amy, the roads are a real concern, right?
That's right, Diane. We're standing here at the corner of Secor and Stearns in Bedford Township, and we've actually watched that transition from freezing rain and sleet over into snow and back to now what feels like freezing rain and sleet. But I want to get you a look at the road here, you can see that it is definitely slushy. It is wet, but traffic is moving. We have seen a couple of county trucks make their way through here to make sure the roads are safe for your morning commute. Mother Nature is not letting up in southeast Michigan. From rain and wind to snow and ice, it's been a mixed bag of weather over the state line.
I could definitely do without it.
It's amazing. We finally got a winter, you know?
Area roads are covered in a wet, slushy snow, making travel treacherous.
Driving's pretty bad. Hopefully the roads don't get too frozen, too icy. But it's fun to get a little slip and slide here and there.
Not very good. I headed from Toledo. It was a little rainy there, starting to slush, but as I got into Michigan, it's really bad.
This car went off of US 23 near Stearns Road because of the wintry conditions. Luckily, no one was injured. Despite the weather, many still braved the elements, saying it's just par for the course in this neck of the woods.
And I just moved back this summer. It's my first winter in 3 years, so you know I was hoping that we'd get something good.
Now back out here live, there is definitely enough snow on the ground here that you may have to shovel in the morning, so something to keep in mind as you do wake up. But if you're like me and you could really do without all of this snow and cold, something else to keep in mind is that spring is less than a month away. For now, reporting live in Bedford Township, Amy Montgomery, 13 ABC Action News.
And thousands did lose power earlier tonight as the winter weather moved in. The rain changed to freezing rain. 13 ABC's Daryl Kirkland Morgan has been monitoring that power outages all night. And Daryl, how many customers are still in the dark?
Not many compared to earlier. We had 3,300 customers, 3,800 customers earlier tonight. Right now in Lucas County, according to Toledo Edison, 32 customers are still in the dark and fewer than 5 remain in the dark in Fulton County. So it really has come down over the last few hours. We've been thankful to get some pictures in on our Facebook, via pictures at 13abc.com, via See It, Shoot It, Send It. And this is one we got from Ottawa Lake, Michigan, with some ice covering the branches. That was a common theme in a lot of the pictures that we've been getting in. And it was one of the reasons that Toledo Edison said that they really had to get out there, because some of those branches were coming down on the wires. Here's another one out of Sylvania Township, that ice sticking to the branches. This one out of Britain, Michigan. You can see this is out of Wauseon, not of the branches, but not much snow accumulation earlier in the afternoon. So really the timing of all this weather has been very interesting to watch it come in across Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. Speaking of which, here's Adrian, Michigan. They have some ice on a balcony here. And I think looking at this one is a Morenci. It's one of my favorites. Some ice sticking to the branches. And finally, this little squirrel just peeking out, trying to stay warm while we have some very difficult weather coming our way. Make sure you stay tuned with us throughout the morning. And one of the best things you can do is check out our website, 13abc.com. We have school delays on here for the commute in the morning, seeing what time the students are going in, if they're going in at all, as well as live Doppler, satellite, and radar, so you can really see what type of weather is coming in and seeing what time it's going to get here. But reporting for 13ABC, I'm Daryl Kirkland Morgan.
And be sure to wake up with the team from 13 ABC Action News. Good morning. Jeff, Sasham, Bill, Nicole will have the latest conditions, any possible closings and or delays starting at 4:30 a.m.
And there were several basketball games postponed tonight because of the weather, but most schools went ahead with tournament games. Sports Director Dave Holmes joins us with a wrap-up. Dave?
Well, let's get right to it. Opening round of sectionals, Bowsher against Springfield. You know it's a big game if Don Emmons is in the house. Blue Devils up by as many as 12 in the fourth quarter, but Nate Allen with the throwdown. Bowsher cuts the lead to 1 with just a minute and a half to play, but Dylan Good has your dagger. Springfield moves on 59-53. Maumee and Start, City League champions, having trouble with the Panthers. Dominic King all the way. Maumee opens on a 7-2 run. But Start comes back. Keith Foreman for 3. Spartans win it 46-38 in overtime. Northview, St. Francis. Hey, great sign here. This also a big one. Don Emmons in the house. Wildcats playing from behind early in the fourth. Mark Bernsdorf cuts it to a 2-point game, but the Knights get it done down the stretch. Alex Combs tripling. St. Francis moves on 49-43. How about Division II? Otsego, Wauseon. Knights by 12, 4 to play. But Colin Bazovi leads the Indians back. He had 23, the lead just 2. Knights pick it up at the end. John Thomas in there. Otsego advances 52-46. We have more high school hoops coming up in about 15 minutes, plus Bruce's QB Q&A.
All right, Dave, thanks very much. We'll have some sad news to pass along tonight. Special agents are investigating the death of a member of the 180th Fighter Wing. Authorities found Staff Sergeant Krista Meeks Jones and her husband, Army Specialist Christopher Jones, dead inside their station at Fort Knox. Spokesperson said it appears to be a domestic dispute. Krista Meeks Jones was a 2008 graduate of Anthony Wayne High School and is survived by 2 young children.
A Cary teenager is celebrating his 14th birthday happy and healthy tonight. The young man is overcoming the odds after a rare disease left his parents wondering what each day would bring. 13 ABC's Christina Williams has the story of courage you'll only see right here on 13 ABC.
Infantile idiopathic scoliosis is rare. Young children are born with it or develop it before they're 3 years old. And unlike scoliosis a teenager or an adult may have, it can be life-threatening.
So show me what you got over here. You're gonna have to...
Brett Mulholland looks like your average 8th grader. He spends time hanging out with his brother and loves being in the great outdoors as a Boy Scout.
I think I've got all of them, or close to all of them.
But his journey wasn't always easy. At just a few months old, Brett was diagnosed with infantile idiopathic scoliosis, a life-threatening condition.
My first thoughts were that little kids, babies don't get this. Yeah, I've never heard of a baby having it, so I didn't quite understand. And at that point, they were doing what they call watch and see, where you watch it to see, and we were still hopeful at that point that in wearing the brace that it would correct the curvature. We didn't realize quite what we had ahead of us.
Brett's spine was curved more than 100%, and as he grew, it got worse.
The lungs don't grow to the same stage that the body is at, so they can't support that body.
At just 10 months old, a plastic brace from Brett's breastbone to his legs became part of his wardrobe 24 hours a day.
It was actually kind of fun playing tag and stuff. I couldn't tell if somebody tagged me or not.
But the bracing didn't correct the problem. So Dr. Gerd with the Cleveland Clinic put in metal rods to lengthen Brett's spine.
We have rods that work as struts that every 6 months this poor child had to go back for surgery in order to have it elongated so that his torso is growing with the rest of his body and allowing those lungs to develop.
Every time Brett grew, he had to go under the knife. By 13, he'd had nearly 20 surgeries.
There were times where we went maybe 3 months between a surgery, and then there were times we would go almost a year.
You can't imagine what it's like to walk your child back to the OR 20 times and hold yourself together to put them to sleep and trust someone else to do this, and then walk out of the room, and then that's when I would fall apart, and Janet was always there.
In addition to the nurses' support, the Mulhollands say Brett's spirit kept them going.
It was kind of hard at first, and then after a while I just got used to it and started getting better at it.
This past year, Brett had a spinal fusion. The rods are still in place, but his spine is straight. And Dr. Gerd says Brett's recovery is amazing.
Brett looks great. He's a tough little man. No, he's doing beautifully.
Without any setbacks, this is the end of Brett's struggle with scoliosis.
Good job.
The Mulhollands are ready to move on, and as Brett prepares for high school, he's focusing on a new goal of becoming a mechanical engineer.
And I got it so I can change the gears and everything, and it's got steering and everything.
We're really doing great.
Yep.
It's wonderful.
In Cary, Christina Williams, 13 ABC Action News.
And we are tracking the next round of wintry weather arriving late tonight. Today, a very interesting one. The high 34, the low 29. Look at the amount of precipitation, 1.19 inches, and not done just yet. Predictor next.
This is 13 ABC Action News with Diane Larson and Lee Conklin. Now, 13 ABC First Warning Weather with Chief Meteorologist Jay Berschbach.
And good evening. Most of Ohio seeing rain right now. Much of Michigan seeing snow and sleet. Here is live Doppler 13,000 HD. So wherever you see the greens, oranges, and reds, that's all liquid. We're in the mid-30s. But once you get near the state line, north of Highway 20, 475 there in Sylvania, a little mix. And then in Lambertville, Temperance and Blissfield, it is mainly snow at this point. Notice also near Portage and Weston, just southwest of BG, that is a very heavy pocket of rain within it. Sometimes the radar sees little balls of sleet and reflects a little bit more. So that could be an area of sleet mixing with the rain. Here's the bigger picture showing that swirl of low pressure now just off to our west. It's wrapping in the moisture here with the heaviest snow to our north. But all this has to come through tonight and a bit more for tomorrow. But the amounts of snowfall tomorrow, the rates of snow should be much lower than today. We're still at 34 degrees with light rain officially at the airport. East winds are at 13, making it feel more like 25 degrees. Now temperatures in the metro area, we can zoom in nice and close with our brand new weather system. 33 degrees here near and east of I-75, including Oregon. Rossford 33, Perrysburg 35, Maumee at 34 degrees. Zooming out just a bit, all of us still above that magical 32, 33 in Adrian, and it's the closest, along with Wauseon and Bryan, and 34 Toledo and Napoleon. Much, much warmer down to our south. 40 upper Sandusky and 42 down in Lima. Now our forecast. Here's Predictor. This is for tonight into tomorrow. Watch the maps here from midnight into about 3, and there's the divider. It seems like this year the Maumee River or Highway 24 divides the snow to the north and the rain to the south. That is the case at 3 o'clock. Light snow showers break up for the morning drive, so perhaps a break in the action as we get the buses on the roads and hopefully most spots in Ohio and to get the kids to school or you to work. By lunchtime, more snow showers fill in, and then light snow continues into the afternoon. Temperatures just above freezing, but then falling after 6 p.m. As far as accumulations of snow, not a big one here. It's just going to be a layer on top of what you got today, which is pretty much in the same location. So by 6 a.m., about a ½ inch in Toledo, nothing down to our south and east, an inch, inch and a half in parts of southeast Michigan, and then throughout the day, a little bit more on top of that, one more layer to get through with our total accumulations in Michigan, 2 to 3 inches, much of Ohio here, an inch to 2, and most of that west of I-75. For tonight, the low dropping near freezing. That mix out there now will change to snow to the north and rain to the south. The boundary, again, it's just eerie how it's been that way this year, but it's basically the Maumee River, north of that versus south of that. For tomorrow, 36, snow showers likely, variable winds, not as windy as today, 36 again the high. And here's the 7-day forecast beyond tomorrow. Not a lot of snow, but more snow showers for Thursday, more snow showers for Friday, each day a dusting. Cold and dry for the weekend, dry on Monday, and watching next week here. Not a big one, but just a little wave coming through, so more rain and snow mixing on Tuesday, the high 34. So we're seeing those delays and closings on your screen already. Expecting more to come in tomorrow morning, and much of that is because of what fell throughout the day and the evening. So we'll be here at 4:30 a.m. Bill's back. He's on the air at 4:30.
Not done yet by a long shot.
Not yet, no.
All right, Jay, thanks.
Still to come on Action News tonight, taking care of business. 13 ABC riding along with city road crews as they work to safeguard those roads for the Wednesday morning drive.
And 13 ABC putting the new lottery numbers up for you right now.
Let's recap our top story of the night. Opening round of the Ohio High School basketball tournament, Bowser and Springfield. Dylan Goods 3-ball the difference. Blue Devils move on 59-53.
I was just open. I just took a couple of deep breaths and I shot it and it went in. So.
Maumee against Stark, close one all the way, goes to overtime. Spartans advance 46-38. St. Francis against Northview, rough year for the Knights, but they pull the upset in this one. They move on to face St. John's on Friday.
Huge win for the program and everybody. We've been working really hard and our whole team deserves it.
Otsego and Wauseon, Knights almost blow a 12-point lead late in the game, but they hang on to advance. Next up, Defiance. Fun night of hoops. Finally, Bruce's QB Q&A, the NFL Combine going on this week. Something Bruce remembers like it was yesterday.
I always watch it and think I'm so glad I don't have to go through this again. You know, because it is. It's very stressful. You have all the coaches, scouts poking and prodding. It's like a meat market. You walk into this one place full of 50 scouts with just spandex on, and they're looking at you, seeing how much you weigh, how tall you are. You have to be prepared for that. You have to know how to answer questions. You have to show them what kind of character you have, what kind of attitude you have, and also perform on the field in front of all the scouts watching you.
You talk about the pressure. Manti Te'o said this thing is too stressful. That's why he ran that slow 40 time. What do you make of that comment?
Well, right now, if I represent him, I'm making him come back on his words, because if you can't handle the pressure of a scouting combine, how are you going to handle the pressure of a Super Bowl or a playoff game or a division rival game? So, you know, I feel like he's going to go back on his words now for saying that.
We see all these things, the shuttle run, the 40, the vertical, the broad jump. What's something that you would look for as a scout and say that drill translates to the NFL?
I like the quick feet drills, you know, the shuttle, the 3-cone. Drills like that. I like the broad jump, the vertical jump, because it shows how explosive you are. Very rarely are you running a 40-yard sprint. You have to have enough speed, but I think it's more important to see the explosiveness of a player.
Do you remember specifically training for those drills? I mean, do you practice to beat these things?
Yes, I mean, that's what you do. When you're coming out of college, you're at a workout facility training for the combine. If you're one of those guys going to the combine, or if you're just having your pro day, you're training for the 40-yard dash, the 3-cone, the shuttle.
And live team coverage of the winter weather alert continues in 2 minutes.
Toledo City crews working around the clock tonight under what they call an ice control situation. 13 ABC's Melina Caruso live with an update on how the crews are keeping up with this winter weather tonight. Melina.
Yes, Lee. I went over to the city crews just a few hours ago, and they say its 30 crews are out on the roads trying to keep up with this seesaw winter weather conditions. It goes from rain to ice to snow, but it all adds up to a lot of slush.
13 ABC went out with City of Toledo crews this evening to see how they've been battling the changing precipitation all night.
It's terrible, it's really slippery, and it's not fun at all.
It's due to the rise and fall in the temperature throughout the evening, leaving the roads with a layer of rain and slush. That's exactly what drivers are seeing.
It's more like, well, I wouldn't say hail, but sleet. It's hitting kind of hard. It's not just rain, so it's definitely cold.
The freezing and thawing makes it hard to push around the slush. Some drivers say the city is doing a good job, but they could help them out a little more.
Yeah, they've been doing good. They could do my driveway, though, make it a little easier for me.
Others offer some tips for other folks on the road.
I just have a suggestion. Everybody just needs to drive slow and take it easy, regardless of how, well the roads and the weather.
And I don't know if the city crews will make it to his driveway or not, but they do tell us that their drivers actually prefer treating the roads overnight because they don't have to fight the traffic. And again, they'll be working 24-hour shifts, and the next shift starts in about 30 minutes. Reporting live, Melina Caruso, 13 ABC Action News.
And stay with 13 ABC for the latest weather updates. You can also download a free weather app at 13abc.com. Always something you can get to.
And here's a look at tomorrow's headlines tonight from The Blade. It's the highest rated restaurant in the area, and it's right here in Toledo. Plus, the fate of the former Northwood Hostess Bakery could be decided this week. You can read more about these stories and other stories in tomorrow's edition of The Blade and at ToledoBlade.com. Your wake-up weather forecast right around the corner.
Here's a live look from our 13 ABC Tarta Tower Action Cam. Jay Wright back with what to expect Wednesday morning.
Still a very colorful live Doppler 13,000 HD with the snow off to the north and blue. We've got that pink from Wauseon to the western part of Toledo, and then the rain heavy from BG toward about Waterville. So be careful out there tonight. The forecast when you wake up, dropping near freezing. Snow north of the Maumee River, rain south of the river, and throughout the day, maybe an inch or 2 in Michigan. 2 inches mainly southeast Michigan. A dusting for Thursday, Friday, and cold and dry for the weekend.
Can't wait for the quiet.
Yes.
Come back.
We'll take the cold and dry.
All right, Jay, thank you. And thanks for watching Action News at 11.
Action News continues online at 13abc.com, and you can find us on Twitter and Facebook. For Lee Conklin, Jay Birchback, Dave Holmes, and all of us here at 13ABC, I'm Diane Larson.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, straight ahead.
Thanks. Tonight we have music from Churchill. The guys from Duck Dynasty are here, and Terrence Howard is here. I'm going to try not to get hypnotized by his beautiful eyes. Too late.